Oh, I didn't change the name, did I? Oh, fuck off, cursor. You just yawn at me as well.
Yeah.
I need to go to my own show. Because we are late.
You're late. I've been here the whole time.
Yeah. We were late, so...
You're late. I've been here the whole time.
How is everyone? How are you all? How are you wonderful people? 15:37 hours, 35 degrees. I mean, that sounds lovely, I'll be honest. It started off quite, like, cold. And not, I wouldn't call it cold. Was it cold?
Cooler.
Cooler earlier.
Yeah.
And I was like, ugh. And now the sun, and now I'm like, now I have to sit here in front of a camera. Sunshine, blue skies.
Although, it's back up to 30 on Monday. No. Mm-mm.
I like it. I'm here for it.
No.
I'm here for it. I had to pay my own late fees only when it. Well, to be fair, YouTube gives me 10 free gifted a month, so I had to pay my own late fee. So you know, I was late. It's my fault. So it's sorted. You know. Anyway, how are you all doing, you wonderful people? How are you all, you bloody heroes? Rubber Clock, thank you for the one gifted membership. You're a legend.
It's nearly July.
It is nearly July. Yeah, that means it's nearly the youngest's birthday as well.
No.
He's going to be 8, going on 20 sometimes, honestly. Anyway, it is in fact a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Wednesday here on the sunny south coast. If you haven't already, please make sure you smash all those magical YouTube buttons for us. Hit the like button if you enjoy the content. Smash subscribe if you haven't already. Those numbers are climbing. We're now 35,100. Look at that. Yeah, I mean... There's one poor old Lehman Russ is the only person in chat going, no sound. No sound. Everyone else is talking to us. It might be you. I'm just throwing that out there. Not that you can hear this, so you know it's largely irrelevant me telling him that. But hey,
Nicholas, it's 30 degrees with about 80% humidity.
Where's that, Nicholas? Whereabouts is that, sir?
I feel like my mic is sounding like I think I can hear myself a little bit. What button was turned on?
Nothing. It's just me. I had the volume ramped up for the headphones when I was
okay.
When I was editing the other day on my old bike channel. That's the one.
Sorry, it's not 5+ members. I have the poor till 30th.
I'll let you off. Run my clock. I'll let you off. Anyway, yeah. So, welcome back, you wonderful human beings. I was searching for a topic tonight, something to talk about. I don't want to go too serious this evening, to be honest with you. I'm in a relatively good mood. I'm tired. I'm really fucking tired, but I'm in a good mood, which is normally like tired and grumpy or happy and energetic. I'm really tired, but in a good mood. So I don't want it to be too serious tonight, but we do know the Black Templars Codex is coming at some point in the near future, and it got me thinking. Right, so I was trawling the community page to see if there was something we could talk about that was interesting. There's some bits and bobs on there. There wasn't loads that I really wanted to dive into deeply, but it got me thinking about recent codexes: Thousand Suns, Death Guard, World Eaters, Space Wolves, etc. And I wanted to know, like, historically, we all pretty much accepted the fact that codex creep was a thing. And we accepted the fact that actually, typically over the course of edition, codexes just got stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And power creep happened, codex creep happened. And I feel like that's not happening anymore. And I feel like codexes are pretty consistent at the moment. If you look at the last 4 or 5, they're pretty consistent in power. They're pretty consistent in sort of coolness. And I don't feel there's any codex creep going on. But is that just me? Or are you all thinking the same thing? Really hope the ejected markers will still be in stock when I get paid. They are currently pinned. Are they pinned in the chat? Can you see them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. It doesn't show me.
They're pinned on your screen. So if
I don't get that screen, obviously. Oh, hang on. I can look this way.
Yeah, it's fine. If you click on the thing.
Yeah, I found them. Okay.
Yeah.
The objective markers are currently for sale, chat. If you are interested in those, we have 16 for sale. 6 are currently gone. 10 to go. And don't worry, those people that say I hope they're still in stock, These are ones that, because this is the first run, when we sell out, I'll buy some more. Okay. So, yes, bring on the heat. Oh, I fucking love it.
No.
I'm here. It's supposed to be not quite a nice, warm, sunny weekend. Should we consult the weather gods on the phone?
No, we've got windows and the weather rock, so we're fine.
Friday,
We're good.
cloudy with sunny spells, highs of 24. Saturday, cloudy with sunny spells, highs of 26. Sunday, highs with sunny spells, cloudy with sunny spells, highs of 27. Monday, no cloud, highs of 29. It's cooler down here because we get the sea breeze.
Yeah, but sometimes that just means the humidity is crazy because the sea breeze and all the water that's in the air.
I fucking love it. You know I love it though. I feel like there's parts of the year where we kind of fall out a little bit.
Yeah.
And this is one of them. But hey. The thing with Codex Creep, they're not even consistent. Sometimes it's the Space Marines, then Xenos, one Xenos, then Chaos. Yeah, I know, yeah. It was all over the place. But I feel like it's better now. Right? I feel like it's much better now. I feel like it doesn't really happen anymore. Death Guard isn't as bad as people make out, in my opinion. There's a couple of outlying units abilities. Every Codex has that. Yeah, I don't think... Death Guard's good. I don't think they're broken. You think they're wildly inconsistent? If you think about the last 5 or 6, you still think that, Lord of Cinder, interestingly? Midwest US is getting 3 days of rain forecast. I'm drinking green tea. I'm on a health kick again. We're back to that.
Green tea is really high in caffeine.
It's not really high, it's high.
Big Codex Creep is the Death Guard.
Is it though, Eamon? Is it? Evidence. He's gonna mug your super chat off. It has come through for reference. Evan says, between my wife's birthday and 3 separate things breaking in the house, my generosity will wane this month. Tau and Orc Codexes seem balanced.
Always happens in 3s.
Yeah. Hopefully that's done for you then, Evan.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed, mate.
There you go, done.
Yeah. We will rely on everyone else's generosity to continue to pay our bills. But, you know, I will let, with a wife's birthday and 3 separate things breaking, we'll let it off. We'll let it go.
If one thing breaks, it's annoying. If a second thing breaks, I'm then on tenterhooks until the third thing breaks. Because you don't know how big or small the third thing's going to be.
I don't believe in the couple threes thing.
How deeply do you invest in fixing the second thing yet?
Here's a great super chat topic, right? What is the weirdest superstition you've ever heard? Because there's loads of them, like never cross a black cat's path, never walk under a ladder. I
think the never walk under a ladder is probably just health and safety, really.
Is it never let a black cat cross your path? Which way round is it?
Well, how are you meant to not let, like...
Exactly. Yeah. Dad used to be a bit funny. Like, he would have a set routine before he went to the football, and then like one game you win, and then he'd go home a certain way. The week before he'd gone home a certain way. He's like, oh, it must be because of the way I went home. No. But then the next time you know he's going to go home that way. It's like this weird. People have weird. I'd love to know the weirdest superstitions you've ever heard. I reckon there's loads out there that we've never heard of. Loads and loads.
I think they probably were weird, but now they're so famous, they're probably not weird anymore.
I think every recent codex has been broken in players' eyes because one build appears on the comp circuit till people figure out how to beat it, and then we're all good again. That doesn't make it broken though, right? Which I think is what you're saying anyway. I think people call it broken, but then it's not broken. Does that make sense?
Johnny, I've heard of that one, walking over 3 drains.
I don't heard that one.
Oh, really?
No, I've not heard that one.
If there's 3, so they all have to be touching each other. You know when you get, like, the chunk of 3?
Would DG versus Custards be a good match on the channel?
It'd be an interesting match on the channel. Joe has a Death Guard army to start painting, or some of it anyway. So in the future, we don't currently have a Death Guard army because we borrowed it for the launch. But Death Guard's absolutely an army I would happily continue playing in the future. So if I can get him to paint it at some point. I've learnt with Joe, if you want him to paint something for you, you have to tell him that he can play the army.
And then it gets done straight away.
Yeah. So, you know. Thank you anyway, Paul, for the $2, man. What a legend. You're a hero. Brian's on strike tonight, it seems.
Are we calling Sean's yellow or orange?
That's orange. That's flat orange. How can you even look on my screen? It's bright orange, Luce.
Mine looks like squash.
Wait, I need to see.
No.
Oh,
It's not the same colour.
Yours isn't as vibrant. Yours certainly isn't as vibrant. Stick Monkey, thank you for 10 gifted memberships. He also says it is a super chat because Brian's on strike a bit at the moment. Can't stay, but here, have some cash for your internet pole dancing. We can do that if it's desired. Quite frankly, at the moment, I'll do anything.
You can do that.
Well, when I say we, I mean Joe. It's in his contract. Thank you so much, Sean. You wonderful human being. Dropping 10 even though he can't stick around. What a fucking hero. Thank you so much. I love you very dearly. You amazing, amazing, beautiful people. Beautiful people. New laptop, please.
People.
She won't.
Lappy Toppy is just fine, thank you.
See? She won't.
Thank you.
Told you, chat. She won't do it. One point, that thing's going to melt a hole in the desk and she won't want to replace it. It'll be literally on fire. But it's fine.
If it still works, there's no need.
Just
It's wasteful.
put it out with some water
wasteful
and it'll
is what
be
it is.
fine.
Replacing a thing that still works, wasteful. Wasteful. Throwaway culture. I don't want to be part of it.
I'm not that bad for throwaway culture, to be fair.
How can I play either Knight's Codex while ensuring my opponent can enjoy facing off against the big buggers?
That's a difficult one. Most people aren't going to have a torrid time. If you don't spam 20 fucking little ones, which I don't think you can anymore anyway, then most people... Like, if you had, like, depending on which codex you're playing, if you had, like, a tyrant, then a couple of, like, big ones, a super big one, a couple of big ones, and then little ones, I think most people think that's a cool-looking knight army, and you'll be fine. Cooney! Hey, Chris, how's it going, dude? Thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. What a legend. How are you doing, you wonderful human being? I haven't heard your sexy voice for a while, actually, to be fair. Liam have an accident with a laptop. Is Josh suggesting I get it on with your laptop? Or does it mean like with water?
I think he means when you pour juice over your laptop.
Which still works.
To quote you today, the keys are a bit crunchy.
Yeah, so when you open it up, you have to rub your hand over it to decrunch the keys, and then they work fine.
Ooh.
Biggest superstition, giving sufficient monthly cash to a bearded nutter on YouTube to join a WhatsApp chat will improve my life. Thankfully, it was worth it. #things.
Did it, in fact, improve your life, though, JK? That's not superstition, that's just flat fact. Flat fact, mate. Not superstition at all. Thank you so much for the 10 bucks. You're not keen tonight. I like it when they're delirious with heat. It's my fave.
I get the weird, like, air pressure headaches.
What do you mean? I don't know what you mean.
Do you ever wake up and it's...
In the Philippines, whales are held at home. When the deceased is removed, they create chaos. Break crockery, kill a chicken, spin the casket back and forth. Also, the spirit doesn't come back. We loved you. Now you're dead. Please stay away.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
That's
Wales.
interesting. I don't know if... I wonder if Wales is a...
Wales, like... Is there something else in the world
I feel like
called
Wales
a whale?
is a typo. I think that's an autocorrect, maybe.
God, I was going to say. Like, they don't do very well out of the water.
So make cool enough conversions that people just want to have a go. Yeah, 100%. You'll be fine. Absolutely. Wakes are held at home makes a lot more sense.
Oh, ha, okay.
Wakes are held at home. When the deceased is removed, they create chaos.
How the fuck are you holding a whale?
Yeah.
How many people are doing it?
Well, I have a humpback.
Are the people in the water or is the whale in the house?
I mean, it's not even the right way of spelling Wales at that point because we need the H, but you know.
That's why I was like, is there something else called...
Is the country held at home?
Wales?
Amazing. Thank you, Tony, for the 50 bucks. You're a legend. We are almost at a super chat goal, and we're fucking 21 minutes in, and I was 5 minutes late. So we're 16 minutes in. Look at that. Wonderful human beings. Thank you, Tony. You're a hero. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
I had no idea that the Philippines were so superstitious.
What do you mean by an air pressure headache, anyway? I'm curious.
Do you ever wake up and it's already raining and you get you have a headache when you wake up?
I mean, it's happened, but I wouldn't necessarily equate it to when it's raining.
But
I think it happens randomly sometimes.
If you wake up and then it starts raining, you're fine.
No, not always though.
I always get this weird pressure headache if I wake up while it's raining.
Okay.
And I've asked a few people about it, and they've said, oh, it's atmospherics, it's an air pressure thing.
Right, okay.
And it sounds like if your blood pressure's not quite right, you're a bit more delicate.
I do on occasion get random headaches, but they're very rare.
Yeah.
And 99 times out of 100, when I get a headache, I'm like, how much water have I drunk today? That's why I've busted this bad boy back out. I've got the fancy water bottle back out that tells me when to drink. So that I don't, because I'm so bad at being hydrated. And then what I've been doing, and I always fall back into this habit, is during the day I'll drink lots of tea and coffee, actual tea and coffee, not green tea, but actual tea and coffee. And I'm like, must be well hydrated. Drank loads of drinks, tea and coffee. It's not really hydrating like just water hydrates you, because caffeine itself is a dehydrant. So you know.
I'm thinking of kicking coffee, kicking it out.
I get air pressure headaches loose. When a storm is coming in and there's a change in the pressure, I feel it in my sinuses and ears especially.
I've heard that before, though. I have heard people have that before.
Yeah, mine's not in my ears or my sinuses. Mine's like if you were to wear a baseball cap and draw a line across where the hat sits. That's where I feel it.
Ash says, I wake up with a headache. It's called marriage.
Oh, Ash, your bitterness is so upsetting.
So Luce is a barometer, but one that tells you it's already raining rather than about. Yeah, she's the weather rock.
Yeah.
Luce is the weather rock. The weather rock is the best form of telling the weather. That's how we all know what the weather's doing. I'd like to know what you guys have been up to today. I'm assuming most of you are working, but let me know. Today, I've been learning how to use this properly.
I thought you already knew.
For video, yes.
Oh.
But not for photos. I've never really used it to take photos properly. And today was a deep dive lesson on how to use this to take proper photos and how to set your ISO, your shutter speed, and your aperture size.
I have been doing my mitten. And I can't show you, chat, because the ball is still down here and there's several needles and a big safety pin.
Yeah, I don't want to touch that. That looks like it would hurt me.
Taking its majesty, babe.
Yes, it looks like something Edward Scissorhands would wear.
It's gonna be cozy.
But yeah, it's gonna be cozy. But yeah, I've been working out how to use this properly because we use a lot of little images on the channel on like thumbnails and army lists and the scoreboard. What we actually do is we use images off the Games Workshop website, and I'd like to start using images of things like the models that Joe's painted for the army. So if we're playing an army we've got a painted model for, get a decent photo, so when I put it into Photoshop and use it on graphics, it's a high enough quality. I also want to take photos of other things, so that's an expensive camera. Yes. I mean, I buy my shit secondhand because it's much cheaper to buy my shit secondhand. But first hand, this camera lens is currently 1,500. This camera, sorry, is 1,500. The lens is $2,500. So this is a $4,000 camera setup.
Holy shit.
If you buy it first hand, I don't buy it first hand.
My good lord.
And this lens specifically is the lens that we use on the main high angle on the streams, chat. So this is literally, these camera bodies, these is literally what all of the cameras on the studio, bar the ones that move, all of them are running through these camera lenses, these camera bodies, all of them. But I found a place called MBP online where you get camera gear and equipment secondhand, and you can go from like new quality down through excellent, good, poor, and you could basically slide it based on your budget. And if you are you happy to accept one that's got like a little lens scratch on it, and they'll say doesn't affect image quality, but it does have a scratch on it, and you can buy it. It's like hundreds and hundreds of pounds off sometimes as well.
Yeah.
So you know. I don't buy them.
It just goes to show if you look after your stuff, they've got a pretty good resale value.
Yeah, if you look at some of the things on there, because I'd like to one day upgrade all the cameras because I like to continuously improve. The problem is we've set quite a high standard early.
Join Thanes get access to only dads.
The Thanes are trying to convince me to launch only dads.
Okay, what would be, pitch it to me. What's the...
It's essentially lots of candid photos of dads doing dad things. Mowing the grass, cleaning the car.
Doing the
Pulling his hair
bins.
out. Yeah, drinking the beer.
Doing the bins.
Doing the bins. Exactly. Right? Only dads.
Okay.
It's great, isn't it? Shaving your back. You know, that kind of stuff.
I saw an advert on Facebook of a woman shaving her butt cheek.
Wow. Just the one.
We've got to shave our butt cheaks now, babe.
Just the one.
And I commented and I said, wait, do we have to shave our butt cheeks now? And it's got like 200 likes. I know.
Well, you haven't been, so.
The peach fuzz is nature.
How many gifteds memberships is the camera? Many gifteds. Many gifteds. We're only on 22 right now, chat. We are over a fifth of the way through. Thank you so much, you wonderful human beings. But we are only a fifth of the way through. So, you know, I pulled something, Dave. Nothing too bad. Just probably need to see a chiropractor. What have you done, Sam? What have you done? What have you done to yourself? How have you hurt yourself?
Do you know the amount of people that really hurt their backs doing very normal stuff?
My missus is one of those mentalist sets who can smell storms coming in and her ears pop with any change of altitude.
I'm the same as that. I'm 100% the same as that, Jill.
Do you know what I heard?
I'll step outside the front door and say to Luce, it smells stormy.
Crochet for loose on your blower X.
I beg your pardon? Is that... What kind of kink is this that you're on about? Oh, you sent me something. What my mum is currently crocheting for loose, as in to show it, not use on. Why is your mum crocheting a butt plug?
It's probably not a butt plug because it can't
look
go.
at Look at it! What does it look like?
I don't understand. Why?
What does it look like? What does it look like?
Well, there's a face on it, so I'm going
What does it look like?
I'm going to assume it's not a butt plug because there's a face on it.
What does it look like, though?
Oh no, Star pulled back on a full bin.
Oh, yeah, that'll suck. Oh, at least you injured yourself at work, right?
But
You're in America.
Do you see what I mean? It's really normal stuff. When I was younger and I'd hear of people pulling their backs, I'd think it was some, like, strongman contest or you took a serious tumble down the stairs. And it's things like changing the bins, or I've heard of somebody picking a pen up off the floor and they've pulled their back. Did you bend with your knees?
The thing is, at least Sam, it's happened to him at work, and they're in America. You know what that means?
No sick pay?
No. They just sue each other, don't they, all the time? Payout.
Don't be that guy.
Never have to work again, Sam.
Don't be that guy.
Never have to work again, Sam. Not my back, just my arm. Ah, back's more money. Why is Liam an expert on butt plugs? Why aren't you an expert on butt plugs, Gareth? Why aren't you an expert? I just cut my ball sack and there's blood everywhere. How? We need more details, Kai. How? That's one hell of a slip with a hobbying knife. Just got back, loose rant. She always rants, always. As soon as we go off air, she starts ranting at me.
Start ranting.
And I go to sleep, and then she's mid-rant, and when I wake up, she's still going.
I just don't sleep.
Anything can be a butt plug if you try hard enough, exactly.
At sea level, every square inch of our bodies feels 14.7 pounds of force. If we estimate the average person to have 2,400 square inches of surface area, that's 35,000 pounds, or 16 metric tons.
All I know is, for every... Is it every...
That's a lot of numbers, Ivy.
For every pound that you're overweight, your knees absorb 5 pounds of pressure when you do things like walk up a set of stairs.
I do.
It's something like a pound or a kilogram, but it's 5 pounds.
I absolutely believe the numbers.
Extra.
I don't understand it fully. You know, how can I see for pulling a bin? I can't even make a solid justification for it. What do you mean?
We're not going to be that guy, Star. It's that simple. We're not suing.
We're going to get Sam
over
massive
changing
compo,
the bin.
and then Sam can quit and come and live in England, and it'll be great.
We're better than this.
Use the new camera to make list showcase for your games. It's not new. This is the main camera that we use in the studio. And today, for the first time, I took it off of video mode and put it into camera mode. So, but I would like to do better things with our own miniatures over using stock photos. Your weight ×3 is going through your knees when you run.
It's mad,
Kai,
isn't it? It's mad.
Kai, I have a question that might seem odd because I think this was a long time ago. But was it you that was talking to me about weight vests for walking and jogging? Was that you? Because I need to know what I'm Googling. I just rolled my back at work, had to get 3 pieces removed, and then my central nervous system was surgically removed, fixed and sewn back into place.
Whoa.
Ugh. What did you do? Makes sense that we can sense the pressure in the atmosphere. A 1% change is 350 pounds difference. Yes. Okay, that makes more sense. I'm with you now.
And apparently it is a neurodivergence thing to feel. So when someone's friend says they swear they can smell a storm, it's a thing. Apparently it's a thing.
Can you message me what it was? Because I don't know what I'm Googling. I'd be appreciative. Thank you, mate. You're amazing. So apparently I read a thing, and this is off of social media, right? So it could be bullshit. Caveat, could be bullshit. Supposedly humans are like at times, like 10 times or 5 times, I can't remember the number, but at times more sensitive to the smell that happens when fresh rain hits when it hasn't rained for a while.
James can smell it.
You know that smell that I'm on about, right?
Yeah.
They're like 5 or 10 times more sensitive to that smell than sharks are to the smell of blood.
Wow.
I don't know the number. I was reading it the other day and I was like, I mean, I really smell that fresh rain smell.
I can smell when you're about to get sick.
Because I've shat myself.
No. You have like, it's like you start to smell sour. And I can't describe it. I've shared a bed with you for like 18 years. I know your smell. And when your smell changes, I'm like, you're getting sick. Don't give it to me. Whatever you've got, don't give it to me. You're getting sick. And then sure enough, a day or two later, you start coughing, sneezing, moaning that you're aching. And then, Luce, I need some happy food. Can you go to Morrison's, please?
It's mostly just Lucozade, to be fair.
Luce, I need some Blue Machine Innocent Smoothie.
Blue Machine, Lucozade, and lemon sip, cold and flu, hot lemon. Banging. I've heard that the theory behind smelling a storm is from the ozone generated with the electrical discharges. Maybe people have a sensitivity to ozone. And I can smell petrichor too. Is that what it is? Is that the smell of it?
Yeah.
Petrichor, yeah. Yeah, and apparently we're more sensitive to that smell than sharks are to blood. I took a shark and asked him, do you feel like you smell like 10 times less of blood? And is that a loose fact? Yeah, absolutely. I'm not a whiner, Tony. Fuck off.
Luce.
That's not what happens either.
Please, can I have some Blue Machine?
She's making it up as well now because she knows I'm the worst sick person because I refuse to accept that I'm sick.
Luce.
Despite the fact that I'm baggage. And she's the one that she's like, babe, stop.
Yeah. But I can smell when you're about to get sick.
Yeah. Give him a hot toddy. I don't mind. I didn't like the hot toddy. She's not allowed to use the expensive whiskey. That's the problem.
It's a whistle pig. Try this.
It wasn't whistle pig. I think you put the Belvanu. I can't remember.
No, I used whistle pig because of the bottle.
Fucking rocket fuel. It's 117 proof.
You'll be right in no time then. I don't know what you're moaning about.
Jesus
God,
Christ.
take one for the team.
Jesus Christ. That's not what happens,
Jesus.
Kev. Don't lie to me. Don't be that guy. We sold another set of objective markers, Luke. Look at that.
Woo-woo.
The envelopes for them turn up tomorrow, so we'll better start shipping them tomorrow, Friday.
Yeah.
You horrible fuckers, honestly. Your fingertips are sensitive. They can tell a difference in a few microns thickness. Men's fingertips specifically. Chris asks if you can smell the kids getting sick or just me.
Yeah, I can smell, but I don't think that's necessarily news, because I think any parent that has cared for their sick kid, even if it's just something like a 24-hour bug or something, for me, because kids they do sweat, but they don't really have body odor yet. It's more like their breath.
Okay.
Like their breath is absolutely rancid, and it's a unique kind of smell that's like, you're getting sick. But because adults have a body odor by this point, even if you do things like eat garlic, and it just comes out in your skin, and sometimes in your hair. Your hair can smell a bit funky if you've had things like hummus and garlic bread and a glass of wine, all the smelly food. But I mostly notice it on the boys' breath if they're beginning to get sick.
Interesting. I don't think I'm going to be honest, I don't think I ever tell until I hear it more than I smell it. I don't really seem to have any precursors to someone's getting unwell. Like if you're getting sick, you say, I'm feeling unwell. And I'm like, oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, I'm not a person that does the sick voice.
Just sent you the Rogue Fitness weight vest details. Thanks, mate. You're an absolute hero. As of this week, there was a photo, right, chat? There was a photo taken of me at the weekend. It's actually quite a nice photo. In fact, Lou said she loves the photo. But
I love that photo.
There was a photo taken of me the weekend, and it got sent to me by the person who took the photo. And it's a very nicely made, nice taken photo. That person at the weekend actually took a load of photos with a nice fancy camera, and it was basically the inspiration for me, like, oh, I want to take photos like that. And you can't do it with an iPhone. You just can't. So I was like, I want to take photos like that. I want to learn how to do that. And he was like, have you got a camera? And I was like, yeah, I've got a such and such. He went, that's a really fucking good camera. Why haven't you? Because we were at the bike day, obviously, and there was fucking thousands there. And I was like, yeah, it's actually, I'm not really using them for. And that's why I've brought it home and learned about it. He took this photo of me, sent it to me. And it is a nice photo. It is a good photo, but I also can see the dad belly hanging out. And I was like, I don't like that. I don't like it at all. So now, as of Monday, I'm back on my health kick that I was doing last year. But also, it helps because it means I'm now doing it alongside Joe, who talked about the fact that he needed to lose some weight yesterday. So, and you're going to join me a bit as well. So I think I'm into it now. That's why I'm drinking green tea and not mead at the moment. Fridays is still mead, but once a week is fine because mead is full of sugar.
I'm also thinking about going gluten-free because there's a connection between autoimmune and something called leaky gut.
Yeah.
And gluten seems to be a very common thread. Just when I've mastered bread.
I don't think you need to go gluten-free, but reducing it is probably... I used to have issues when I over-glutened on a day.
Oh, darling, we've over-glutened.
We've over-glutened again. I used to have issues with it, right? And I found that it was a gluten intolerance that I developed getting old now. And I decided to start cutting down on it and monitoring how much bread I'm having in a day, specifically bread, but other bready type items that have, because it's not just bread that has gluten. And then I found that a lot of my issues went away, so yeah.
I know, Star. I know. I might try and learn gluten-free cooking. You
look like you were trying out for Gladiators and found yourself in Squid Games and said, can't talk, my belly is catching up with my chins. Gluten-free bread is where I would... I ordered gluten-free Domino's once because I was suffering quite badly.
Awful.
It wasn't that bad. It was all right. The pizza was fine.
I tried some. It was like there was sand.
Yeah, it's grainy. It's more grainy. But I didn't hate it. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. And obviously, I'm not going to worry about that now because I'm not going to order Domino's if I'm on a health kick. But dropping gluten a bit and replacing it with fibrous things and stuff like that is not always a bad thing either. So,
No. I just...
Chemically speaking, organic substances means that the molecule includes hydrogen, nothing more or less. Didn't know that. Stopped eating bread 2 years ago was a miracle of my life. Other thing was putting away sugar, alcohol. So I've dropped. I've dropped the sugar. The other thing with bread and what's in bread is your body can convert it into glucose and into sugar. So if you're having sugar and having gluten, it's double whammy, right? So if you cut sugar, So my tea, I had 1 spoon of sugar in my coffee this morning with a squirt of honey. I've not had any other sugar today.
So why are you putting honey in just for the sweetness?
Yeah, but honey's also good for you.
All the stuff that honey's good for you gets killed off in heat. Oh. So having just a teaspoon of honey fresh out the jar is the best way to have it. But if you're just adding it for sweetness, then I
think there's probably still goodness in it. Anyway, it won't be as much, obviously, but it is for the sweetness. But there's so much, and even then, so much better for you than sugar, right? At that point, say.
In what way? In terms of
sugar's really fucking bad for you, so not having the sugar puts you in a better place.
If you're talking about some illnesses that use sugar for their own energy, then it's sugar from anything. They'll get sugar from anything. So
yeah, no, but just flat, normal, plain white sugar is bad for you.
Yeah, but then I wouldn't entirely demonize sugar. It directly converts to energy.
Right.
So.
But it's still bad for you. There's a reason why there's a sugar tax. Because it's bad for you, because it's causing health problems, because there's too much sugar in our diet everywhere.
So in that way, yeah, there's too much of it in everything. But I personally, I wouldn't demonize sugar. It converts to energy.
There's a study out there that suggests if it was discovered, I read this a couple of years ago, but it's still relevant, suggests if it was discovered modern day, it would be classified as a Class A drug. Because of its addictive nature and how bad it is for your health. So I absolutely would demonize sugar.
What we really need to do is start honing in on the government and why they're allowing such chemicals and shit in our mainstream food.
It always makes me laugh when it's like...
That's what we should be doing.
It always makes me laugh when it's like, sugar's really fucking bad for you. It's really bad for you. You shouldn't have sugar. Oh, cool. So you're going to ban it? Nah, we'll just tax it.
Tax it. Yeah,
because we know you're all addicted, so we're just going to tax it instead.
Yeah.
Sugar in moderation is fine. 100% it is. The problem is it's really hard to have sugar in moderation because of how addictive it is.
But that's my I do need to come off coffee, really.
You have one a day.
I know. So it should be easy.
You have one a day in the morning. Why do you need to come off of it if you have one a day in the morning?
Because it's my first proper drink, and it shouldn't be, and I can't let it go.
Your first drink of the day should probably be water.
Yeah, and it's not going to be unless I boot it out. So
let's boot it out then. I'll do it with you.
The trouble is, you're 2 feet in straight at the deep end, and for me that's unsustainable because novelty will wear off. So in me, it's like slowly catch you monkey kind of thing, and it's far more sustainable. So,
but if you want to wean it off, I'll wean off with you in the morning coffee. I don't mind doing that.
What are you going to have in the mornings then?
Water or juice. It's fine.
Oh, stand by, kids. We're going to be grumpy as fuck.
No, I'll be fine.
The kids will be cowering under the...
There's a few times recently where I've got up and because I've had to go and do something, I've not had time to have a hot drink, and I'm okay.
I am not okay.
I know you're not okay.
I am not okay.
I know you're not okay. But dropping the quantity of caffeine is also not a bad thing necessarily. To be fair.
I've been caffeine free for 2 months, and God, it's terrible.
Dave says you think of refined sugar and natural sugar. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I'll clarify. Refined sugar is really fucking bad for you because you get natural sugars in things like fruit and stuff, right? So
yeah.
You know. Chat, we've smashed the super chat target already. You people are amazing. We are over halfway for likes, but we've not smashed that one yet. But there is enough people to do it. There's also enough people that if everybody gifted a single membership right now, just $4.99, massively supports the channel and the content. Massively supports Lusco and gluten free.
There has to be a tasteful way to be gluten free. We're not, you know, when I first became a carer, you had to get gluten free bread on prescription, and it was god awful. Nobody ate it, and now there's aisles, a whole aisle dedicated to gluten free and dairy free.
But the thing is, did you have gluten free like 5, 6, 7, 10 years ago?
I tried it just to be like, it's fine.
It was shit.
It's not fine.
It's much better now.
Yeah.
It's much better now. It's not as good. It doesn't taste as good as normal bread, but you have to remember as well, some of these things, why do they taste so good? Because they want you to buy that again.
Yeah.
Dave, thank you for the one gifted. Dave, listen to me. Thank you so much, Dave. You're a legend. We're on 23. I know we're close to the end of the month, chat. We're quite behind. I believe in you all. Don't you fart more if you're gluten-free? Don't
Well, that's it. Cancelled then. Cancelled. I'm not walking around farting.
Fruit is okay because the fibre slows down the absorption of the fructose. Interesting. Choo-choo indeed, Dave.
Choo-choo.
Choo-choo loose.
Choo-choo.
See? She does it on Wednesdays. She cares about you lot on Wednesdays. What's MAFLD, Kai? To ride you lose gluten-free is very expensive. Yeah.
Oh, Kai, what's
Yeah, NAFLD, that's what I just asked, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Listening while eating Domino's.
Stop it,
Smiley
Adam.
face emoji.
I don't...
So mean.
Domino's is one of those things where I can take it or leave it and I don't really care. Especially because of the price of it. So
That's crazy.
I would never choose to order Domino's myself because it's so expensive. If you're like, I'm ordering Domino's, do you want something? Before this week, I'll probably go, yeah, okay. But I'm not like, yes, Domino's. Do you know what I mean? Now, this week, I'm like, nope, not interested. Don't want it. Don't want it. I would say this on stream yesterday. Right, I literally, with Joe, I literally reckon I could turn down pretty much every fast food option if someone else was buying it for me at the moment in my current health kick state, with the exception of KFC. I'm just a sucker for that fried chicken. It's so good. It's not good, but it's so good. Nasty ass fart and liquid disorder. That's probably right. Not another fucking lame diet. That's probably also right. Both of those are probably right. But yeah. If you're fine with gluten, just do homemade bread. It's pretty easy and way better.
I do. I make loads of homemade bread things.
Do you think it's mad how many additives are in? Right, you make bread.
Yeah.
What do you put in it?
My recipe is bread flour, yeast, honey, so the yeast has something to eat, an egg, warm water, salt.
Have you seen what's in shop
butter.
bread?
Oh, I know. It's mad.
Bread! What the fuck?
Payday. Let's roll. And only 45 minutes until my shift ends. Also, now that I think about it, I really hope my boss isn't a member in this channel.
I feel like you'd have got caught already, Johan. And if it's payday, we only need 77 members. Payday, innit? You just said that, so you know.
Oh, Dave, I'd love to chat to you then. Since I've had gut issues and getting scans and tests for a host of stuff, I've had access to a nutritionist and learned so much about my eating habits and what is good and bad. I am just at the beginning of that.
Rambo's a nutritionist.
I had some doctor's results back today and talked through them. And what I will say about a private doctor's appointment and how much blood they took from me, plus
you were deflated
an
when you came
ECG. I had like 4 blood pressure tests and a urine sample.
Johan, thank you for the 5 gifted, you fucking legend. I was joking. Don't do all 77 on your own.
When you get your results back and they really break it down and they even put an explanation of why are we looking at this and this interacts with this result, why do they interact? What
I read
does
your
this
results.
mean?
It's quite interesting.
It's really interesting. And having a doctor on a Zoom call where I could say, what does this word mean?
Yeah.
And then, oh, that means this. And then me even, what was that word again?
Leptin.
Leptin. That's a hormone produced by your pituitary gland, I think, that it talks to your brain or your gut about when you're full.
Yeah.
And I said to her, does that hormone get suppressed when you have a concentrated ultra processed diet? And she said she doesn't know because she's a GP, but there was a hint of like, probably actually that's how we can do things like have a whole McDonald's meal and then be like, I'm going to get some chicken nuggets. Like, how is your brain allowing that to happen?
Not telling you that you're actually full. Kai says NAFLD is all down to excess sugar and mainly fructose, as liver cells are the only cell in the body that consume fructose, and excess is converted to triglycerides, which are the real problem for the heart. Interesting. And Star says American bread is like 90% sugars. Can confirm. You eat their
Yeah.
bread, it tastes sweet.
There was a guy that did British bread and American bread, and he was an American, and he said he didn't understand why his British friends were saying they couldn't have a sandwich because it's practically cake. And then he tried British bread.
Yeah. Comparing UK McDonald's fries to US fries, UK fries have 3 ingredients and US fries have a list of ingredients. We have slightly tighter standards.
Yeah, Star says Luce tried a bit of granola bar at the Spearhead weekend and went, "This is cake."
Yeah,
Yeah,
literally,
I did.
wasn't it?
I was like, "This is a flapjack."
So we're doing a great job talking about new codexes, chat.
What is this?
We're doing a great job talking about whether they've got better at writing codexes. People that tune in to watch us on demand are like, "You haven't talked about it at all." No, I think they've got better, but and then when we sidetracked. But hey.
Yeah, so I'm now at the very beginning of like, what the fuck is in our food?
Lots of shit.
Yeah, and apparently America's even worse.
It is. They've got lower standards than us. But yeah. Josh says, "Isn't Lipton iced tea?"
Have I said it right?
Leptin.
Leptin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, leptin.
Leptin. So
It's the thing that tells you whether you're full or not, or you've had enough to eat.
So my leptin is okay at the minute, but it's, and I was saying to Liam earlier, it's scary how little the needle needs to move for there to be the rumblings of an illness of some kind. And then how amazing is it then that your body kind of gets this ambush of chemicals in our food and it tries to reach equilibrium every day. If you think of how little the needle needs to move versus the overwhelm in all of our food, it's crazy.
Only recent codex I've bought is Chaos Knights, and I think it's internally very well balanced. I agree. But I think they're doing it quite well. I think they're doing quite well at that in general. Let's be honest, it's a better topic than Codexes. I mean, we've had a lot of feedback over the years on the Monday, Wednesday, Friday shows. And I always get really worried, right? But specifically for new people that find the channel, I always get really, really worried that a person goes, "Oh, they're talking about Codex releases. They come in half an hour, and there's Luce and I talking about farts and diets and all sorts." And I wonder that they're going to go, "Oh, I'm not watching this shit," and they turn it off. But actually, most people say it makes the evening shows more watchable. We talk about real life things, which I think is quite nice. So if you disagree, gift 5 memberships. And if you agree, guess what? Gift 5 memberships. Thank you, Skippy, who's just done that and gifted 5 memberships. What a legend. We are 33, which is literally a third of the way there. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Third of the way there. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Drumming on a snare.
Oh, I like it.
I like it. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I'm having a full blood panel every 6 months these days, and I'm going to have a glucose monitor installed.
Yeah,
probably worth it, mate.
I've been recommended to go back in 6 months and do fresh bloods with the new. So my doctor's advice was drop a bit of weight, and I need to do a new urine sample because my ovarian cancer marker was really high. But she was like, "I'm pretty sure that's an anomaly, but get another one."
Yeah.
I'm not worried. I'm going to get another one.
I'm not worried.
It's fine.
To be honest, but it's worth doing it again. I kind of want to have the MOT as well now.
I feel so informed. And again, being able to say to a doctor, what does that word mean? Why are you looking at that? Why did you test for that? And no question's a silly question. And obviously you don't have all the time in the world, but you have way more than 10 minutes. And to be sort of sent away with, this is the plan. So come back in 6 months, we'll do it all again, and I'd be very interested to see where the needle moves then. I'm very
interested, excited and keen to kind of help you with it as well, because I as always with everything, I'm in the boat rowing with you as always. I like to be the most supportive, to be fair.
What food would fit each codex? Go chat.
Yes, go chat. I love it. That's a great one. I'm here for that one. We're also 67 members away, chat, and we are an hour in with half an hour to go, which means we need more than 2 members a minute from now on. So if there's like 4 or 5 people who want to give 10, that'd be great. That will catch us up quite quickly. You're near the MOT age where they start fingering your mum. They don't do that anymore, do they? They do a blood test now. For that, for
What's
men.
that?
Prostate cancer.
I know.
It's blood test now.
I know.
Yeah, I'm well disappointed.
Fuckers.
Well disappointed.
We still have to. And did you know?
I was looking forward to dropping my trousers, bending over and feeling both hands on my shoulders.
When us girls get a smear test, they ask us to lie down. You don't need to lie down. You can recline and they can still get to the back of the cervix to take a swab, because the danger of lying down is the disassociation that happens. Because for me, when I get a smear test, and you should always attend your smear tests, no matter how disassociated you get, always attend them. For me, when I lie down, no matter how nice the nurse is, the only person that sees me in that capacity or anything like that is you.
Years ago.
So, and I get why it's happening. It can detect nasties, and you never know that the nurse might be like, did you know this is there? Would you like to see a doctor or something? But then the next time that we're having romantic times, my most recent memory of being in that vulnerable position was a medical thing that was, it was so clinical, and it wasn't given permission as well. It's a really weird thing. And the amount of women that have all-out Barneys with their sexual partners as the next time they get intimate off the back of a smear test is because of the disassociation.
Oh.
So you don't have to lie down. You can just recline and they'll still get a good smear test.
I don't mind laying down for my smear test.
Shut up. You with your blood test. Piss off.
The look you gave me then was incredible. Oh, brilliant. 1,000 Suns sherbet with a sorceress dipping stick. I'm here for it. My wife's been getting these since a girl doesn't want me present at them ever.
Yeah.
Anti-gifted member, gifted super chat club.
No members chat. We need to hit members goal. Don't be like that, Chris. Jesus. Chat. Don't make me cry. That's how you cry, innit? Like that. No?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought it was quite close. The tangent has gone on a tangent, which itself has now gone on a tangent. Welcome to the show. It's what we do. The thing is, in seriousness, one of the reasons why I appreciate you all so much is because I'm feeling a bit Warhammer burnt out at the moment. I'm not miserable with it. I don't hate it. I don't dislike it. I'm not like bored of it. I'm just a bit burnt out of it. It's very different things. And I think sometimes when you talk about being burnt out of something, people think that you hate it and you don't like it anymore. Not the case at all. And if they brought out something new and exciting tomorrow, I reckon I'd be quite excited about it. But I am otherwise a bit burnt out. And so when I sit here prepping for a stream, I'm like, I don't want to do a show. Because I don't want to talk about it at the moment because I'm a bit burnt out. And if there's nothing to talk about, if there's something exciting to talk about, it's really easy to do a show. Really fucking easy. And that's what I mean when I say I'm not like bored of it or fed up of it. Because if they release a brand new, if today they dropped a whole new Grey Knight Terminator kit, for example, I'd find it very, very easy to sit and talk about that for the evening. 100%, no doubt, easy. But one of the things I love about you lot so much is I can go, I don't want to talk about Warhammer for the whole show. And normally you can tell, like if you watch the stream back tonight, it took minutes before we started talking about something else. But you lot just keep sitting there and chatting to us. You're amazing. Amazing, all of you. Incredible. Best chat. So, you know.
Yeah.
I'm here for you all. Thank you. You wonderful people. Wonderful people. Can we get 2 single gifted though, so it's at least in a multiple of 5? The worst part about that, I thought, 33 is okay, we're a third of the way there. And the worst part about that is 5 of them I gave out for free. So we've only actually got 28. An hour in. There's a few things as fun as a Smith test, only beaten by the coil. I've not had one of those either, Jill, to be fair.
I've never had the coil, and I've heard horror stories. And I don't know if you saw on the news, maybe a month ago, Jill, about the mesh thing that women had put in because of a bladder collapse or prolapse or something, and now because it started to trigger autoimmune responses, they've all had them taken out now. And it was a mesh that hardened as soon as it was inserted because the body attacked it. Some women are okay, but the majority, they all need to come back out now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was on the news.
Thank you, Dave, for the 2, Yeston for the 1, Chris for the 1, and Jill for the 5.
And I can't help but think...
And Roscoe for the 1.
Some autoimmunes...
And Dave for the 5.
Have they been triggered because of, like, environmental factors? Is it not? Do you know what I mean? Like, is there something now that's too much, like diet or
the biggest
chemicals that we're taking in, or stressors?
For me, there's 3 main factors into our current ill health as a nation, and as a wider populace in the Western world, right? For me, there's 3 main things. And I'm no expert, right? So you are more than welcome to sit there and be like, he's talking shit. And that's fine.
Definitely do that.
I don't mind. I genuinely don't mind. I'm not getting upset or offended, but I will fight my corner. And the world is a better world. We can have heated discussions with different views and no one fucking gets offended and starts swearing at each other. So if you think I'm talking nonsense, I'm here for it. Tom, thank you for 5 gifted. You're a legend. However, there is... Oh my God, it's going now. There's a train started loose.
Choo-choo.
Amazing. However, I reckon it's 3-pronged, right? The first prong is quite obvious, in my opinion. It's our food. Our food, we have more ultra-processed and more shite in our food than we ever have before, right? Mm-hmm. By a long way. So our food is full of stuff that's not great for us. And often food has got things in it that make you want to eat more of that thing. Additives that they're called, but we call them in this house addictives, and it's done on purpose. Things that are appetite suppressants, they make you want to eat more and what have you, That's the first one. So food is the first one. Our quality of food is lower. Let's not forget that's a very obvious point when we talk about food, is the fact that it's got more additives in it than ever before. But it's also secondfold. Our soil quality in this country is a bit shit.
Yeah.
So the fruit and veg that we grow in the ground and the grain and crop that we grow in the ground has got less nutrients because it's growing in shitter soil.
Yeah.
So the government currently has schemes on whereby they're encouraging farmers to plant certain things to improve the soil quality, so that when we grow crops in them later, those crops are better nutrition-wise, right?
Apparently the soil is the reason why a lot of us are becoming B vitamin 12 deficient.
Exactly. That's the first part. Second part is also, in my opinion, quite obvious. We live now incredibly sedentary lives comparatively. People drive everywhere.
Yeah.
People use public transport to get everywhere. People don't walk, jog, or cycle places anymore. We sit at computers. We sit in front of TVs. We don't even get up to change channels.
No.
We don't do anything. We and a lot of people won't want to go to the gym and won't want to do physical exercise, but we are more sedentary in general. And that means that, add that to the bad food, you're putting worse shit in, so your higher calorie intake, but you're doing less stuff.
Yeah.
So lower calorie burning means you don't have a calorie deficit, it's the opposite, and it's getting bigger. And then there's a third prong, which for me I think is the kind of expected one, but you kind of already alluded to it, and that is the stress of the world.
Yeah.
Because if you look at things like people's lifestyles, it's not easy to necessarily to make a fresh home-cooked meal every single day. Families don't have the capacity. They don't, because mum and dad are working and kids are at school, and because we're living in our 54th ever financial crisis, and mum and dad both have to have jobs, and it's just not as easy to do home cooked meals and to so and then you think about other things. Is when people get stressed, what do? They reach for comforts. What's comfort? Comfort's the stuff full of addictives.
Yeah.
So people will quite happily reach for a pot of Ben and Jerry's or a massive bar of chocolate, and they'll sit and they'll eat it, sitting there doing fuck all, eating ice cream to feel better. And they will feel better.
Yeah.
For a brief moment, they will feel better.
I made ice cream the other week out of frozen banana, honey, cocoa powder, and I think vanilla essence. And one scoop, the second it was out the freezer, started to melt. Of course it did. The air was warmer than the freezer. But I had one scoop of it and I was full. And then you ask yourself, but if I had a whole tub of Ben & Jerry's, that whole pot's going. So what's in it? And why doesn't it melt as quick as...
Yeah,
homemade
the thing
ice
is, you
cream
also
does.
you don't have to not have some of these things. People think that it means removing everything. When I was on my health kick last year, around this time last year, I found I'm more energized in the summertime to do this kind of thing. And what I need to try and do this year is keep it going through the winter, which will normally mean not getting COVID and the flu. But when I was on this health kick last year, I actually bought my favourite Ben & Jerry's ice cream, which is fish food, which I'm sure is full of shite.
Probably,
But
yeah.
it lasted like 6 sittings.
Yeah.
Because I'd cut sugar and I'd cut a lot of the sweetness out of my diet, eating it was like, fuck, this is sweet. So I couldn't eat a lot of it.
Yeah.
My brain went, you've had enough of that.
I can't have dairy milk anymore. It gives me a strange headache and my teeth start to hurt if I have any more than maybe 1 or 2 squares of dairy milk.
Yeah.
I suffer with it.
So, expect to see some more Great Hall Health updates in the Great Hall Health thread in Discord. That's going to happen. Guy says, I think by 2050 there will be a genetically modified tree that grows Big Macs. I mean...
Well, I mean, if you could... You should write that down, put it in an envelope, and then open it in like 10 years' time.
Jess says, look here, I'm not here to get my whole life read to filth. I'm here to laugh. Sorry, Jess. Sorry.
Yeah.
Not
today.
I'll switch to cheerful, jokey, friendly when we get to 105 members. Just gonna wait. I'm joking. I think I'll go get some ice cream to eat while watching. I don't believe personally in completely cutting everything out that's bad for you. Because
also our biology has gotten used to
it
UPF,
has,
so...
but like I will still want the odd KFC, not a weekly one, but I fucking love KFC. I will still want the odd pot of Ben & Jerry's, not a weekly one.
It's also for me very unrealistic to totally cut out UPF, because when you do have a date night, well,
it's just not possible, babe.
Yeah, maybe we want to order in. Or if we get invited to a wedding, there is no way you can vet the kitchen who's doing the wedding breakfast. You won't be allowed, and you don't want to be that guy.
Jess says, I can't afford to gift members because I spent all my money on comfort food to drown out the world.
I'm sorry.
But, so I do agree with drowning out the world, but just think, chat, what we're offering here when you gift 5 memberships is we're offering you a diet plan. It's like Weight Watchers.
Just because gluten was mentioned earlier, I'm gluten intolerant since childhood. So I had no say in the matter. I can't eat products with gluten. Or I can, but I'll have a very bad day later.
I have a slight intolerance. So if I went ham on gluten for a day and smashed so much gluten in my face, which is possible, right? If you think about it, it is quite possible with our modern day diet to have a lot of gluten in a day.
Yeah.
Toast in the morning, a sandwich at lunchtime, a pizza in the evening.
Yeah.
It's a lot of gluten, right? If I do that, I have a bad next day. So I get it. So and it's not just as bad as the toilet breaks. I get literal sharp stomach pains. Yeah, Warhammer Weight Watchers. So gift 5 memberships, right? Pay 25 quid, gift 5 memberships. That's some less snacks you're having. Nowadays it's 1 less Freddo bar for 25 quid, isn't it? Now.
And they're smaller.
And there's, shrinkflation, they call it.
Snickers is smaller as well.
My knickers aren't smaller. Wish it was actually comfort food though. £800 dentist bill for me, £300 dentist for Jess, and possibly the need to shell out for an MRI on the horizon. Jesus.
Yeah.
What did I do to your teeth?
When
I hate the dentist.
When I found myself approached, remember lockdown one of which one is it? It's not the canines. A tooth coupled back from the canine had a really bad cavity in, and I couldn't have timed it worse if I'd tried. All the dentists were closed because there was no PPE. It was lockdown 1, so everybody was terrified. Massive hole in my tooth. And I remember we were in the other room streaming, and I just had tears coming down my face because ibuprofen and cocodamol wasn't touching it and nobody was open, and it was making headlines that people were beginning to rip teeth out of their own heads because none of the dentists could open. Finally got a private dentist, and it was can you just take the bad thing out?
Yeah.
Just take it out. I'm not interested in a root canal. My dental plan was about £800.
I hate the dentist. I hate it.
But did the £800 over like 6 sittings because of how bad it was, and since then I've not needed anything.
The thing is, right, you're all gonna think I'm awful for this. I'm aware. But
Also, it is considered a diet by some nowadays. I'm all for that, but it is sort of annoying when people finds out I'm gluten and they go, when did you start your diet? Does it work?
does it work?
Yeah.
Does it work? So I went to the dentist in January, and you were very proud of me because I hadn't been in over 5 years.
I know.
Because I fucking hate the dentist.
Finally
chat.
coaxed him into the chair.
You can tell I hate the dentist. That's why I've got a mouth like a dropped piano, right? And I finally went back to the dentist and went and saw your dentist because she said she's really friendly, she's really lovely, and she suggested I have some work done, and I got the work done because I'm gonna for loose, I'm gonna do the dentist and do what she says. And I'd had up until that point for 5 years 0 pain or issues at all, nothing.
Not 0. You've definitely complained of tooth pain, which is why I was like, go and see
0
Pat.
pain or issues at all for 5 years, and then I saw the dentist, and for 2 months afterwards, nothing but pain. And now it's finally settled again. I was supposed to have a checkup like in 2 weeks' time because they're like, oh, we see you every 6 months. You're fucking not. You can see me once a year and that'll do. My compromise. Once a year is better than once every 5 years.
Okay.
That's my compromise.
Well, me and the boys are getting checked up on
You're welcome
Monday.
You're welcome to.
Yeah.
I don't trust private practices like that though. I don't. I just don't trust them. Oh no, we found another filling. That's another 500 quid. Of course he did. Yep, cool.
Yeah, but that's not what happens. That's not what happens, babe. That might have been the dentist back in the 90s when they were paid per filling from the NHS, but that's not. They don't do that anymore. And they x-ray so you can see the hole.
The dentist is a scam anyway. Thank you, Leaving Ross. I also swear that the dentist makes my teeth worse. As soon as I start going, I need to go a lot more often because of issues in pain. Exactly, chat.
Am I the only one that went to the
Exactly,
dentist,
chat.
got it all done, I'm on an even keel, and that was during one of the lockdowns, and how long ago were they? Am I the only one?
Exactly, chat. It's like the hygienist. You go into the hygienist and you're like, I don't get food stuck, I'm fine, everything's good, I brush regularly, great. The hygienist hacks away at your face for fucking 20 minutes, and then for the next 3 weeks you just get nothing but food stuck in your gums. You're like, why have you made it worse? Honestly. Chat, gift a membership if you hate the dentist. Gift a membership if you think the dentist is a scam.
I love my dentist. She's amazing.
When my wife was a child, her dentist conned her mum into fillings for temporary teeth. That's amazing.
Yeah, they used to.
Temporary teeth need filling. They're temporary. Replace them.
So my dad, he has a dentist phobia. He's better now because he's found a good one. But when he was a boy, the dentists at that time were getting paid per filling by the NHS. So they were just drilling teeth and filling them.
Yeah.
And not doing a good job. They were getting the nerves. They were not making a tight seal on the filling. They weren't cure. I don't even know if you could cure them back then. Maybe it was like a cement mix or something. But it was bad. He's now got a couple of gold teeth because of childhood fillings that didn't need to happen. That in his adulthood, they crumbled. So he got a couple of gold teeth put in. So he's had an awful time. He had to work really hard on himself to go back to see the dentist.
I'll go on January's.
That's fine.
I'm not seeing the hygienist. She can fucking shove it up her ass.
Because if we're going on Monday and it's June, just about, then we're probably due again in January. So shall we all go together then in January?
People blaming the dentist for their mouth pain after not going for 5 years is like blaming the gym for your body hurting after
No, it's
not going
very
for 5
different.
years.
If your teeth don't hurt and then someone pokes and scrapes it with a scraper and then it hurts, that's a bit different, isn't it? I feel like. I pulled my own wisdom tooth out. That's how much I hate dentists. Good. You can get on board with the gift if you hate dentists train.
There's also genetics as well. If you have bad teeth in your family, then...
Had a dentist drill through my cheek when the drill bit snapped.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Thank you for the $5, Eli, you legend. I said that right. Is that how you say that, Eli?
I'd say Eli.
Ellie? Eli?
Eli.
I reckon Eli. Yeah, the dentist pokes your gum with a needle and says you're bleeding. Of course. And let's not forget.
Oh my God.
Let's not forget as well, right?
Do you want a smear test if you're going to piss and moan this much about a dentist?
What happened to your last hygienist appointment, Liz?
Hygienist is totally different.
Come on, let's tell the story. What happened to your last hygienist appointment, Liz?
Right, chat. Right.
Did you go to your last hygienist appointment?
So, I will tell the story. This is my story. I will tell it.
Let's just start with the first point. Did you go to your last hygienist appointment?
I think we should start at the beginning.
Did you go to your last hygienist appointment?
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't. You cancelled it.
Yeah.
Let's tell the story then, shall we?
On my first hygienist appointment, before I was diagnosed with my weird autoimmune thing, they say they like you. Essentially, it's a dirt-ometer. So they like you to have 10% or less dirt in your mouth at any one time. It's an environment that will never be 100% clean anyway. I got 1.8% dirt on my dirtometer.
By the way, I've seen how they grade this. It's a bullshit test.
Exemplary, I was told. Exemplary 1.8 on my dirtometer in my mouth. Amazing. 6 months later, I get a 4%. Okay, well, in this interim, I have been diagnosed, and your saliva glands have a mind of their own, so you might not produce the right amount of saliva, which neutralizes the pH of your mouth, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. I'll add more things into my oral hygiene. Fine. 6 months later, I then get an 8%.
So?
And I've had a flare-up of my autoimmune in between this, and then controlled it again, and my symptoms were under control.
So we're saying that since you started to routinely go to the hygienist and do what she says, your mouth health got worse.
I don't think it did.
It went from 1.8% to 8%.
But I don't think it did.
And again, I've seen how they record it. It is bullshit.
So then when you went to the hygienist, what percentage on your dirtometer did you get?
I don't remember.
18.
18. That's right. 18. That sounds right. Yeah. 18% apparently. Again, I've seen how they record it. It is bullshit. Someone goes, that number, that'll do.
So then he comes home and I was like, oh, what did they say you had? Because they like it to be 10% or less. And he was like 18. And I went, oh, babe, I'm sorry. It's all right. We'll get it. We'll get it down. It'll be fine. You might just, you could have a saliva thing going on because that's the thing. And then I said, when did they book you in to see you again? And you said?
A year.
So why?
No, actually, they didn't book me in at all.
Why am I getting pressured to go in every 6 months when I had an exemplary 1.8%? You walk in there with a spine-chilling 18% on your dirtometer, and they're happy for you to walk out the door.
Well, the dirtometer is bullshit to start with. The little bit of paper, it's not even a mathematical calculation. It's not even like, it's like a scan of your mouth. Like it's scribbled numbers and then they just come up with a percentage out of the fucking, they stick a finger up their arse and go, that one there, and that's it, done.
I've never been exemplary in my life. Let me have it. 1.8% dirt in my mouth at any one time.
I do also find it flat hilarious that they went, oh, you've started coming to the hygienist every 6 months and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. I'm like, well, that makes me question you and your job. Like, clearly, if I had 1.8% when I hadn't been to the hygienist for years, and then over the course of 12 months and 2 additional appointments, I go to 8%, you're shit! Facts!
So, I cancelled my hygienist. I won't cancel the dentist, though, because Pat is the one that can pull a tooth if it needs, fill a tooth if it needs. She also checks for tumours and stuff.
I'm registered at a dentist now, which makes you happy.
So, but the hygienist... I was so mad because I had been doing all the stuff. I've always been pretty good on my oral hygiene anyway. And then to be like, you need to add more in. I'm thinking, what more is there to add in? Surely there's a thing as too much. You're doing too much to an area. And then it just kept on incrementally going up despite adding more and being more informed and knowing about what foods to stay away from for autoimmune. But actually, it was a bonus because they're not that good for your teeth anyway. How was I adding more in and getting a worse score?
Just throwing it out there.
So 18% though, babe. Why would they let you walk out?
Because it's bullshit. They're like, oh, the way that Lucy's talking, she's going to come back every 6 months and give us money. Cool.
So mad.
It was one of those very rare moments where I was able to bask in the glory of being right.
But you should definitely still, I know you're going to go once a year, but you should still go to the dentist.
I'll go once a year.
Just to stay on the books in case something happens.
But what happens next time is when I go to the dentist and she says, there could be a filling there, I'm not sure. So, I'd like to do it anyway. I'm going to go, no, shove it up your ass. Because the last time you did it, you just caused me fucking pain. When I'm in pain, I'm registered with you now. When I'm in pain, I'll come in and have something done. And I've seen how quickly I can get appointments there, so good. Honestly, fucking con artists, hygienists.
And Pat is actually incredible because both boys have syncope. Teeth brushing is a whole thing. We're going to try the electric toothbrushes again. Now we know we're going to try again because in June, at the end of June, we swapped toothbrushes over. And we're going to go for an electric toothbrush. We're going to try.
Yeah.
But if there's the sign of a collapse, we're back to a manual again.
Anyway, chat, we are quite a lot of members away from target. And we're 7 minutes away from what should be the end of the stream. So do we think we can have a mad members sprint for the last 7 minutes and then we can treat you to a wonderful loose fact? How do you all feel about that? Are you all on board?
I need to...
Didn't you get free dental in the army? I did, yeah. I was forced to go once a year and I fucking hated the dentist in the army.
Dave WK... and Johan, you've both got a ding, but my knitting, we're at a very crucial moment in my knitting, and I think I've put my knitting on the ding. So... You
put your knitting on the ding?
I think.
My ding-a-ling.
Oh, no, here it is. Here it is. Oh, no, but then Emmy's going to jump up and she had her abscess drained.
I appreciate all the hat tricks. I do. But the dog got cut open today.
How many people have just licked their teeth? Smiley face emoji.
Hands up, chat. Hands up if you just licked your teeth. The dog got cut open today. Not serious. Right? Big abscess on her back. It got lanced and drained. I don't want her jumping around. So if it's okay with you, there'll be no dings.
Which reminds me, I need to wash my hair tonight. Because when the abscess burst...
Oh, nice.
Me and Alice got covered.
Like one of them films you can get on the hub.
Yeah, we both went, I don't want to wash my hair today.
Yeah.
And now I've got to.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's a reasonable reason to wash your hair. Bedtime, catch you later, off to eat a bucket of chicken. Don't, Kai, I'm hungry. I'm having eggs.
Yeah. What eggs are we having?
What did you want, eggs?
I'll have some eggs.
Luce, what will you do if Pat leaves?
Ooh.
Well, this is actually a problem because there's a rule in dentistry over here that if a dentist leaves the practice, they're not allowed to say where they're going because you risk the surgery losing a huge portion of its clientele. I can only hope that the practice has a high standard for dentists they employ and that they all have good bedside manner and they all have autism training and they all are just very informative without being hurtful or patronising. But if Pat ever leaves, I'll be really sad. I cannot stress how rare it is when you find a good dentist. Because I also know that the dental profession, the staff turnover is quite high.
But isn't that in itself an indicator? You don't know how rare it is to find a good dentist.
I don't think it's necessarily evil people are getting qualified in dentistry. I think the profession is just grinding people down and they end up leaving.
6 eggs a day fixes your heart.
Oh, I couldn't eat 6.
I absolutely could. If I had 3 soft-boiled in the morning and then a 3-egg omelette in the evening, I could eat 6 a day. But I'd have to have them as different forms of eggs. I could just go 6, bang, come on.
Bang, 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 bang. Yeah.
Apparently it's superfood. We're going to be eating right late anyway whilst we wait for these members to come through, Luce, apparently.
Oh, I need a fact, don't Yeah, so I don't necessarily think it's that bad people are just happen to be drawn to dentistry. I think passionate people start off being passionate and then just get ground down.
The new company would add Pat to their website. You could just Google her. Yeah, you just have to remember her full name. You're going to find it easily.
Yeah, I think yeah. Yeah, I think I know her full name.
Yeah. You'd be able to find it quite easily, I reckon. So. Not even just like a little membership spurt right at the end? A little members? If dentists were good people, they'd be doctors. That's a fucking great phrase. I'm here for that. I like that, Ghasty. I found that one. Oh, we're on 99 like. Have you liked it, Lise?
Yeah.
Yeah. Click.
Yeah.
Right, we've hit like goal. Thanks, Lise. We've hit chat revenue goal. We are 47 away from gifting goal. That is 2 lots of 1 and 9 lots of 5. I believe in you. Hope Brom's not listening to the stream. We'll be able to show his face again, yeah.
Yeah.
On a non-dental and more Warhammer hobby house moving on, yes. Yeah, I'm waiting for what the solicitor calls the engrossments.
Oh.
Thank you for the 2, you legends. The engrossments means the finalised lease, which has been approved. Thank you for another one, Razjin. Thank you, Yeston. Thank you, Lohan. Thank you, Luxor. It's happening, Luce. Thank you, Adam. Oh my God. Come on, team. We can do it. We can do it. Before the fact. Oh no, not 700 minutes. There's a lot. Just Jupiter, thank you so much. All right, team. I believe in you. The neighbours sometimes must wonder what I'm shouting about in here.
No, I think they're used to you now.
Thanks, babe. We almost got 3/4 of the way there. Absolute legends. A fucking lot of you. Thank you so much. Adam, thank you so much for 10 gifted. Thank you, Luxol, Just Jupiter, Razjin, Yeston, and Johan, all for the 1 gifted as well. You people are amazing. Love you. Wonderful, wonderful heroes. She is a bit sleepy now, his doggo, isn't she?
She is. I don't know whether to do Cone of Shame or cut up one of your t-shirts. I need to do a salt water wash on her as well.
What if I like my t-shirts?
Well, choose the one you like the least.
Well, why are we cutting up my t-shirts?
Because mine don't fit like her. I need one that's long. It needs to be long. It was much better the last time she had to have the Cone of Shame and you weren't here to argue with which t-shirt I cut up.
No, I just found a cut-up t-shirt. Nowadays, when I go away or anywhere, I have to go and wear all my t-shirts like Joey in that episode of Friends.
Wear all your stuff.
It was wear all my stuff so it doesn't get cut up to cover the dog.
Who inevitably gets sick every time you're away.
Every single time.
I think she just misses you too much.
Shocking, honestly. Absolutely shocking, chat. Right, you're amazing. I appreciate you for trying to get there. We are, however, quite short, but, you know. It's a struggle right now, team, I'll be honest.
She was so good.
We can get Joe to find another job though, can't we? He's got skills.
Who?
Joe. He's got skills, he can find another job.
Why does Joe need another job?
We only got to 73 members. Just use that thing on the chair behind me. Oh God, no. No, this is lovely.
Use the belt.
Yeah. No, Kev.
We need debris to stay out of the wound.
Yeah.
We don't need to introduce other animal hair.
I need that for cosplay day anyway, so, you know. If I ever win the giveaway on Discord, I want a little sweater for my Chaos Knight Rampager. Luce can do that, right? Yeah. Yeah, let's say yeah. Rachel from Accounts is spreading the pain. Yes, then please don't. Jesus. I haven't forgot about you. This SEO marketing advice. I'll get your number from Ed and message you. Thank you. Joe has skills. He has skills. They're not multiplying. He's relatively out of control. Are you ready for loose fact? Have you got one?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's time for loose fact chat. You can decide true or false, loose or loose. Loose fact time. Go!
The sensors on the feet of a red admiral butterfly are 200 times more sensitive to sugar than the human tongue.
That was kind of on brand today as well. We sort of talked about that sort of stuff earlier, wasn't it?
See?
Yeah.
I'm relevant.
Yeah.
I'm relevant.
Amazing. Do we not gift and Joe is gone? It cannot be that easy. Well, I mean, the channel's revenue is 80-something% memberships. And of those 80% memberships, someone like 70-something% is gifted. So we are majoritively funded for everything we do by gifted memberships. And that's why we have the targets, because it's a channel our size and how small we are, literally how we can do everything we can do with Joe and the studio and all the shows that we put on is because of gifteds. So if gifteds slow down significantly, then there needs to be expenses that go away. I don't know when I can break the lease for the studio. I wouldn't want to have to do that because there's a lot of work going into that place.
Well, you're never going to fit in the garage now.
No. If we had to lose the studio, we just wouldn't be doing games anymore.
Yeah.
Because I can't go back in the garage and do it to start with.
Where would you put all the stuff that's now in the studio?
We'd have to sell it all.
Oh, no. No, we can't have that.
We'd have to sell it all. That would be the only option.
My fact checker has been in touch.
Has he?
How many paragraphs today? How many paragraphs do you think?
4.
Yeah. That's correct. The sensors located on the feet of the red admiral butterfly are incredibly sensitive to sugar. In fact, they're around 200 times more sensitive to sugar than the human tongue. This allows the butterfly to taste a surface simply by landing on it.
That doesn't sound like 4 paragraphs.
It's not, but my depth perception is starting to wander off.
Is it?
Yeah.
I love it when people go, just sell the bikes. If you understand vehicle finance, it's just not that easy and doesn't necessarily make you any money. So if you owe X on a bike and it's worth Y and you might make 200 quid, that doesn't solve your problems, does it, chat? I love it when people say that sort of stuff when revenue's going up the toilet. Just sell your fucking house then, people. If you're strapped for cash, just sell your house.
Just start gifting loose. It's the only way. It's the only way.
Just sell your house. Anyway. It is. I am actually a bit peckish. Are you a bit peckish? You hungry? Could you eat?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think now it's cooled down enough that I want some food.
It's cooled it down.
It's cooled down a little bit, yeah. So we are going to disappear for the evening, and we're going to come back tomorrow at 13:30 with the Liam and Joe show at the table, building some model of some sort. Don't know what yet. So look out for that one tomorrow at 13:30. We then have a live game in the evening. Paddy's back in the studio. He's currently down to play me. But Joe's like, oh, I might want to play him. I'm like, well, it's up to you. I don't mind either way. I could quite happily deck again. I have no preference at all. And then on Friday we've got After Dark at the new time of 9 o'clock in the evening. We're currently in the trial at 9 PM at the moment. I'm not sure if it's going better or worse, but we're getting limited feedback, and the feedback we are getting is saying it's better, but it's like a few people. It's not a lot of people. So currently we're still going to keep trying that 9 PM one, and we'll see what happens. Anyway, you lot, nice talk about codexes. Thanks, Ivy. I feel achieved.
We did well.
We did well, yeah. Sort of ish, a bit. Anyway, thank you people for hanging out with us. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the likes. And thank you for attempting with members go at least. I appreciate you all very much. That's it from us until tomorrow at 13:30. Before we disappear loose, is there anything you'd like to say to chat?
Best chat.
Mostly best chat tonight.
Best chat.
Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow at the Little Joe show. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.